Just one, excited and proud just about how we battled through the game and was able to win and create some separation. I thought one of the biggest moments in the game was just True's spark off the bench. And what he was able to do in the first half kind of separated us. And, you know, him in that role, that's what he's capable of doing, and it's the ability to take us to another level and do that for us. You know, the rebounding, the offensive rebound, I felt we were a little bit better at that. We just had a lot of lapses and a lot of gaps within the game. And the one thing I was telling the guys after the game is going into March, you have to continue to develop a killer instinct where you get these leads and get these these moments where you can go from 10 to 15 or 15 to 20, or you have to be able to sustain a lead. You can't just give and take. So we got to do a better job of doing that, closing down the stretch. And then for Noam to come in and hit 4 threes after not playing for a while and just being engaged and being ready, it just goes to show his maturity and his ability to buy into the team. But it was a good day. We had a bunch of people sick, bunch of people banged up. We got a little team bug going around. But I was excited that they came out and were able to pull it out.
Coach, you mentioned True's performance tonight or today. Just he's really shot the ball really well
Yep.
for these last few games.
Yep.
What do you attribute it all to that recent success?
He's taking the right ones. He's taking the right ones, and he's shooting the wrong ones. He took one today that wasn't the right one, and he knew it, and he said he apologized, you know, just true being true. But he's shooting and taking the right ones, you know, and when he shoots and takes the right ones, he's on catch and shoot threes, he's like 48% almost when he's shooting and makes the right ones, and that continuing to show.
Coach, you talked about how Ernest, you had to get onto him last game, but it seemed like instantly this game, 3 blocks, 3 steals.
Yep.
Just his energy and what he brings to this team. Just how can you highlight that?
He's so important for us, and he's such a good player, and I just want the best for him. And that's why I just try to do whatever I can to get the best out of him. And, you know, his 11 and 12 and 3 blocks, you know, I've been on him all year about block shots. In the last 2 games, he's protected the rim, and it just gives our defense another layer. You know, we hadn't had this in the beginning of the year. To start the year, we weren't a shot-blocking team. And with his ability to do that, it just changes a lot for us. And that's why I'm on him, because he's such a good player. Such a good player.
Oh, sorry.
Nope, that was it.
I was going to ask about the steals. 14 steals.
Yep.
True had 6.
Yep.
I mean, how important was that?
It was huge. It was huge because we were struggling early and just eliminating some of their possessions from them. You know, early in the game, they found their rhythm. Kapke really got going early on. And then we had a segment where after the first media, they only scored 6 points the rest of the half. And part of that is when True came in the game, both offensively and defensively, his way of sparking us and just having active hands and playing in the passing lanes. And one thing we talked about was just we needed to get deflections in this game. The way they play, we needed to kind of slow the ball down, and we did.
And Noam, if you could talk a little more, 4 in a row, 4
Yep.
threes in a row.
Yep. He didn't hesitate. You know, he has a nickname. I gave him a nickname because Noam has always been a point guard his whole life. And for his role on this team is he's more of a shooter. So, you know, his nickname is Noam Shoot the Ball because he forgets sometimes what he's in there to do. And so he just comes in and he did it today, and I was proud of him because, like I said earlier, he just hadn't played a lot. And to come in and hit 4 threes in an ACC game, even if the score is 15-plus, it's hard to do.
With the way the style of these type of games go, and, you know, you talk about the health of your team, how important is it to get some of these guys to sit down and take a bit of a breather in this style?
It was big today because we had a bunch of guys that weren't feeling good. And so I tried to sub quicker, sub earlier. You know, we've cut down practice time. We've kind of separated how we're doing it to give these guys some more rest and break. I tried to do as much as I could towards the end of the game to get guys out. But Timo kind of pulled up with something, so he couldn't go back in. And so in that moment, you just got to kind of see what you can do. But for us to be at our best, we got to be as healthy as possible. And I have to be smart as a coach, just with practice time and how much we're going up and down and things like that.
We've got time for a couple more. Similarly to Noam, I remember Timo mentioning that this has been his first season in the role of a shooter.
Yep.
Just how's that transition been for both of those guys, accepting and really growing?
It's hard. It's tough because, one, they're dealing with a whole new game of basketball. This isn't the same basketball they've played their whole lives. And then you come and your role's completely different. Same thing with Solly. These guys are going through an adjustment period this year. You know what I mean? Timo, we had to change his position once Marcus went out. So now Timo's playing a lot more forward. Timo's natural and best position is a big wing. And you can put him in actions, and he can play out of ball screens and play out of stuff like that. So we've asked him to adjust. You know, Noam has played some point, you know, but with how the game is played and how things go here, we've put him off the ball as for more of a floor spacer. So you're asking people to kind of adapt to what's needed here, and they've never batted it out. There's never been anything. It's just different. So it's going to take time. And it's taken time, and both of them have had moments throughout the year. But they still aren't fully comfortable yet. Because for their 20, 22 years, they've done that the whole time.
And then with Timo, it seems like he's kind of a little more comfort, quick ball forward,
Yep.
making reads and going downhill. Just what have you liked from him in that regard, and how's that evolution of his game really kind of helped?
That's why, you know, his we had to change him. You know, throughout once we lost Marcus, you know, he had to become kind of our backup four. Where before he played primarily all three for us, and he always was capable of doing that and showing us. Now, you know, we're popping, slipping, doing a bunch of different stuff with him, and he's not getting the opportunity to play as much with the ball. But when he does, he's shown it. I thought the Carolina game, he really showed it. I thought Florida State was his best game and showing it, and then he had some moments tonight too.
Anything else for Coach? Thanks, Coach.
All right. Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Ernest, 3 steals and 3 block shoots for you today. First career game with 6 blocks or more. Just on the defensive end, what do you think was really working for you today? Just kind of take me through.
Just energy. You know, some people in basketball, like, again, just I can only speak for myself. Like, I think for me, defense has always been just an instinctive thing for me. And like I said, that just all falls on my energy, you know, how much effort I'm giving out while I'm on the floor. Because, again, I know my abilities, my God-given talents, and my athletic ability. And for me, it's just every single night just going out there, playing harder than the guys in front of us. And those are the results, you know, just making sure that on the defensive end I'm doing everything that I can to help my team out.
Ernest, speaking of energy, it seemed like you guys kind of started off a little bit slow.
Yeah.
Shots weren't falling early. Just what clicked maybe 10, 12 minutes into the first half? What changed for you guys?
Just the communication in the huddle. You know, I mean, like you said, you know, we were going out there, shots weren't falling, you know, free throws, whatever you want to call it. And just throughout the huddle, you know, we're just telling each other, like, you know, no matter if shots aren't falling, no matter what's going on for us offensively, the one thing we control is our effort. You know, we play with high energy, high effort. It takes care of everything else. Defensively, offensively, again, we get stops. We're out running, getting easy baskets. So that's all it was.
Noam, can you talk, congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
It was a season high. What was it, I mean, 4 threes in a row. What
STB.
What attributed to that, and just what are you feeling tonight?
I've been working last couple of games. I didn't play as much, but I knew I just gotta be ready whenever coach gonna put me on the floor. I gotta be ready to play, and I just got in the game. I know my role in the team is to shoot the ball, be a threat from outside the 3-point line. So I just came in and shoot it. I have the confidence from the coach, from the teammates, whenever I'm open, just shoot it. So shot just fell in today.
So after you hit 1 or 2, did you just feel like, I got this now, give me the ball?
Yeah, I'll say it for him. Yeah,
Yeah?
let it go.
Yeah, I just felt good at one.
Defensively, too, a lot of steals today as
Mhm.
well, along with the blocks. Was it just a better way of reading the floor today, or was it just you just got the ball?
I mean, you know, specifically, maybe you could find that in there to say that, you know. But like I said, it's not like we don't talk about that every day in practice. You know, Coach COI is always on us just about having high hands, you know, deterring the passes, making sure our hands are in the gaps and the passing lanes, you know, just taking out their vision. So tonight, you know, the ball was able to not only just fall into our hands, but we were also able to force turnovers. You know, I think True had 6 steals, you know, along with my 3, you know, just goes to show it might not be the person who's on the ball, but, you know, again, him deterring the pass so that we're allowed to get into those passing lanes and get a steal.
Can you just both talk about, I mean, the team is really hot now, which is when teams, you want to be at your peak at this point in late February going into March. How good do you think this team can be, and where are you guys right now?
I think we're getting to the, like you said, like the last part of the season where it matters most, and this is where we need to get another step forward and just be who we can be and who we need to be as a team, and we just keep working hard and trying to get better every day to be in the best possible shape we can when the money's on the line.